This meeting is being recorded.
Hello everyone, this is Coach Carole. I'm going to give you an overview and a demonstration today of basics in the base camp for pathways. I'm starting with a few slides today that I used for another presentation recently. It shows you what I'm going to demonstrate. Let's begin with the steps that are required for each member as they enter pathways. The first thing that they are required to do is select a path. And very often they would like to know more before they get to that selection process. You can view different resources available from many different places about each of the paths. The next thing you need to do is view a guide to a level. And I will show you one of these today. This gives you a chance to look ahead and determine what projects and what speeches are required for each level. The next step is to activate your learning path. And this requires you to go online into Basecamp. And you go into your transcript to find your path. Once you've activated that path, you then launch your first project. On completion of the requirements of that project, you will complete it, both in Basecamp and in your club meetings. And then you will repeat the process for each of the projects in each of the levels. And when you've completed all projects in one level, you'll be able to get a certificate. So let's have a look at that in a nutshell. This is the Pathways workflow that I find very useful for introducing the concept of working online and in your club meetings. In Basecamp, which is your online space, this is where you choose your path, activate your project, and you do your learning online. In the club meeting, this is where you can request your speech, deliver your speech, and collect the evaluation from your evaluator. Once that's done, you go back to your transcript. You can store your evaluation in your e-portfolio, you can complete a level, and you can notify the Vice President of Education, ready for them to go on to Club Central and to finalise your level completion. So this is called the Pathways workflow. Here's an example of one of the guides that I would advise you to use. These were created by Mark Snow, DTM, of District 69 in Australia. There is a guide to every level in Pathways and a few more. They have been translated into other languages. Today you won't be able to download the file from the chat panel, but you'll find it in many different places in Facebook and districts' websites. So let's begin. This is your starting page for your Pathways learning experience. This will become familiar to you as you work through. On the left-hand side, this is where you will choose your path. You can do that for yourself or for another member. In the middle section, this is where you choose your home club. Very important if you have more than one club membership. And on the right is the navigator, and you can use that at any time to help you along the way. Let's go live into Basecamp, where you'll see that I have logged in as myself. So let's go down to the menu for Pathways, click on that, and then go to Basecamp. Once Basecamp is loaded for you, you'll see three familiar blue tiles. On the left-hand side, you can go to the choosing of your path for yourself or another member. And then you would choose that member from the club that you want to choose the path for. For today, let's do it for myself. So I continue to the path selection. I get two choices. Will I use Basecamp or printed materials? I'm going to take the Basecamp pathway, and I then click on Take Your Assessment. Now here you're presented with a list of questions. But if you've done this before and you have done a little bit of homework and you know the path you want, just skip the assessment at this point and go directly to the selection of all of the 10 paths currently available. Each of them are displayed here, and any that you are currently doing and haven't yet finished, like mine, will show as this one does, that I can't purchase this one until I've completed it. You would then click on the one you want by choosing this path, and then you would go through the process of paying for it using the checkout system. All the details can be filled in as you go. So let's assume that you've filled all of that in and you've purchased your path, you've waited a little while, and you've come back to have a look at your transcript. So we go back to the Pathways menu, back to Go to Basecamp, and this time we'll go through the central part, selecting the club that I want and logging in as a member. Once I'm in my landing page, we see 5 blue tiles. And each of these is important in its own way. You need help on speech evaluations, use the last one. If you need help in navigating Basecamp, use the first one. But once you get familiar, just go directly to your transcript by clicking on the second blue tile. Here in your transcript, you'll see a few things that you might have gathered along the way, as I have, and you will see your paths. Each one of these is distinguished by the stack of books icon. So I have 3 of these showing. I'm currently working in visionary communication, and if I want to have a closer look and plan ahead, I can click on visionary communication, and it will show me the range of projects that are involved. It's a little bit small and you're probably having trouble reading the detail, but be assured that all of the information that you require about that path is included here from level 1 through to level 5. For now, I'm just going to go back along my browser and go to launch of that path, visionary communication. So now I'm ready to open the curriculum, and I've been here a few times, so the open curriculum button is the one I use to get back to it each time. I'm currently looking at level 2, and I have completed that one, and I've recently sent off for my certificate on that one. So I can now view that certificate here. And that will show me in a pop-up window the certificate that I have gained from completing level 2 of visionary communication. Now I've set up my computer so that when I launch a particular part of Basecamp that requires a new window, I've asked my browser to present it in a new tab. And that makes it easy for me to and fro from each section. So I'll go back now to having a look at the transcript for visionary communication. And because I've finished level 2, I can now see parts of level 3. And if all of the pieces have been put in place in the previous levels, I can now begin to activate the required project at level 3. And I do that by clicking on the Activate button and launching it. Once again, my system is now allowing that new window to pop up in a tab, and it will show you the new tab for that particular online learning space for this new project. And that will take a little while to come into view. So at this point, we're patiently waiting for it to appear on screen. And because I've opened it into a tab, it will be large enough for me to see the navigation tools that are embedded within it. And these tools are shown on the left and right-hand side and at the bottom section. So as you can see, it's taking a little while still to come into view, but finally we'll see the open screen for this new project. For me, this is Develop a Communication Plan, and I can click on the Begin to begin. I can also jump to any page of this online lesson using the selections at the bottom. So if I wanted to go immediately to my evaluation, I could use that at this point, and I can download my evaluation resource. Whilst I'm here, I might print the entire project and the document they provide to help me write a communication plan. And you can come and go from any section of this by using the bottom set of jump to icons. So coming back now into my transcript, you'll notice that the launch is now showing for that online lesson that we've been looking at. And I can come and go from that each time. Once I've finished that, I can move on to my electives. But right now, I can view the details of any of those electives. And from those, I can make my choice and start to plan ahead. And notice that each of these can be activated straight away. I don't have to wait. So completions of level 2 into level 3 have been quite streamlined for me, and I can now go ahead with the required project and my electives. Later, when I've finished level 3, I will let my VPE know, and he or she will give me my certificate or make it happen for me. This is the end of this first of a series of tutorials on how to complete your levels.